Think you know Dana Wynter, the poised, glamorous Hollywood starlet who captivated audiences in Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Hold that thought. Beyond the camera lights and Oscar buzz, there was a side to Dana you never saw. A woman caught in the crossfire of Cold War espionage, rumored to have ties with intelligence agencies, a real-life script Hollywood couldn't dare to write. Best known for her role in Invasion of Body Snatchers, Dana entertained her fans all over the world for over 4 decades. But beyond her persona on screens, there was a side to the actress and some details about her life story that very few people knew about. Medicine was her first love. Although she is remembered as an actress, there was a time in her life when being an actress was not a desire of hers. Not many people know this about the actress, but decades before she caught the acting bug, Dana Wynter wanted to be a doctor. As a young girl raised by one of the best British surgeons, Dana saw firsthand all the great things that her father, Dr. Peter Wynter, did in the medical field. When she was a teenager, she watched her father travel all the way to Morocco to operate on a woman who wouldn't let any other surgeon attend to her. To say Dana was inspired would be an understatement. As time passed by, Dana started nursing a desire to walk in her father's footsteps, just like any child would. Interestingly, there were less women in the medical field in comparison to the men. It's safe to say that men dominated the field at the time, but Dana wasn't going to let anything deter her. She had made up her mind, and she was ready to study medicine. After relocating with her father and stepmother to southern Rhodesia, Dana later enrolled at Rhodes University as a pre-med student. Now this is where it gets interesting. Dana was the only girl in a class with over 150 boys. It was clear that she was dipping her feet in a profession saturated by men, but she didn't care. She worked twice as hard and studied tirelessly in order to excel. As the only female student in the class, she had a point to prove. After a while, she found herself getting involved in theatrical roles, but it was only for fun. She was cast as a blind girl in a school production called Through a Glass Darkly, and no, it didn't turn out to be magical. Unlike other famous actresses who discovered their acting skills while appearing in school productions, Dana didn't exactly like acting when she tried it initially. In fact, she said she was really bad at it. However, a year later, Dana would abandon her medical studies and pivot to a career path that you least expect. Her wake-up call. Although she started studying medicine with fire in her bones, Dana soon realized that she didn't make the right choice. Sure, she still wanted to do great things, but it became clear that medicine was not her calling. So she did something that a lot of people would be too scared to do. She stopped lying to herself and made peace with the fact that she may never become a great surgeon like her father, but she could be great at something else. At that time, she began to notice that she was developing an interest in acting. Her role as a blind girl in her school production may have flopped, but she genuinely felt like it was time to start pursuing acting. So she made the bold move of dropping her medical studies, but she didn't stop there. Dana later relocated back to England to launch her acting career. The future was unknown, but she was ready to take the step. When she made this decision, she was in her late teens, and anyone her age would be scared to take such a leap of faith. But Dana has always been a daring person. She saw her future acting career as a challenge that she was ready to tackle. She knew that if she worked on her acting skills and found a way to stand out on screens, she would be unstoppable. On getting to England, she launched her acting career, but not as Dana Wynter. She started acting under the name Dagmar Wynter. She was new to the game, but she knew she had what it took to make a name for herself, but nothing prepared her for the challenges she was set to face. The truth about her early career in London. Although she later became famous as Dana Wynter, she was bearing Dagmar Wynter when she started acting in London. The actress, who was of German descent, was actually named Dagmar at birth. Some say that she changed her name to Dana later on in life because Dana was reportedly more marketable in Hollywood. Before she gained fame and recognition, she started from the very bottom, and it took some time for her career to pick up. Dana Wynter started her acting journey in the industry's lesser-known realms before achieving fame. In the early years of her career in London, she faced the challenges that many aspiring actors encounter. She was unable to land reasonable roles, so she began with minor roles. And this phase of her career was challenging because the roles she was getting were not in line with the movie star she saw herself becoming. It took a lot of career and willpower for her to keep persevering even on days when her reality didn't match her dreams. Credited as Dagmar Winter, she was later able to secure bit parts in a few British films, showcasing her talent and dedication to the craft. Although her roles were minor, she tried to use every opportunity she was given wisely. Even in those early years of her career, she had a remarkable reputation. Producers praised her, and most people who came across her work could see that she was going to make it big in the industry. It was only a matter of time. During this phase, she was chosen to make appearances in 2 European-made Hollywood productions, The Crimson Pirate in 1952 and Knights of the Round Table in 1953. These roles, though small, marked the early steps of her career. Despite the struggles and limited exposure, Dana Winter remained resilient. Her determination and commitment to her craft propelled her forward, even during times when securing substantial roles proved challenging. It was her perseverance that enabled her to continue honing her skills and building a foundation for the success that would eventually come her way. As she garnered more fans, little did her audiences know at the time that Dana Winter's career was on the cusp of a significant breakthrough. Her journey from these modest beginnings to later prominence in the acting world speaks volumes about resilience and never-give-up mentality. After investing in her career for several years, Dana finally got the attention she had been working for. An American agent took interest in her and agreed to work with her. Although she was already beginning to gain some level of recognition in London, she knew that going to New York would expose her to better opportunities and platforms for her to showcase her acting skills. So instead of shrinking and holding on to what was familiar in London, she stepped out in faith once again. As soon as her mind was made up, she packed her bags and relocated to New York in search of greener pastures. Interestingly, the day she left London was no ordinary day. It was the 5th of November, 1953, known as Guy Fawkes Day. Dana also considered this day a very special day. She believed it was a significant day in her journey. It felt like the universe was giving her a send-off party. In a later interview, she recalled the day, saying, "There were all sorts of fireworks going off," she later told an interviewer, "and I couldn't help thinking it was a fitting send-off for my departure to the new world." She didn't get the fame she hoped for. Dana Winter actually had a TV career before hitting it big in the movies, and not many people know about it. She was doing her thing in New York, and man, did she have some success. On getting to New York, Dana had to practically start from scratch. Sure, she was in a more promising environment, but she still had to prove herself. In order to showcase her skills and garner some audience, she worked on TV first. She rocked the stage and took over the small screen, scoring leading roles in shows like Robert Montgomery Presents in 1953, Suspense in 1954, and Studio One in 1955. She even made waves in a 1963 episode of The Virginian called If You Have Tears. All she needed was one episode to show her audience what she was capable of. But here's the cool part. Dana also nailed it in a 1965 episode of the Alfred Hitchcock Hour called An Unlocked Window. And guess what? She won an Edgar Award for it. That's some serious TV street cred right there. From the look of things, she was gearing up for the movie career that she desperately wanted. So now you know that before she became a big deal in movies, Dana Winter was making waves in New York, owning the stage and stealing the spotlight on TV. One thing that was often said about the actress was that she was a hardworking actress who did her very best to maintain professionalism. Although she had her eyes on the big stages, she knew the importance of doing her best with whatever role she was given. Soon enough, her hard work paid off and she found herself in the big screens. Her contract with 20th Century Fox limited her. While working on TV, Dana finally got a contract from one of the biggest production studios at the time. The contract was supposed to be the turning point in her career. It was supposed to make a big star. Well, Turns out the contract with the 20th Century was more like a sticky deal. They had her under a 7-year contract that, while making her a star, didn't exactly let her spread her wings. Soon enough, it became clear that the studio limited her in a way. The studio tossed her into 5 fancy CinemaScope films that, honestly, were a bit on the hollow and self-important side. First, they cast her in The View from Pompey's Head in 1955, where her beauty got more attention than her acting skills. Not exactly the breakthrough she might have hoped for. She longed for a better role, a role that would allow her to fully explore her range and versatility. There was a glimmer of her potential in Fräulein, where she played a displaced woman in post-war Berlin falling for an American army officer. But you see, that Fox contract kind of put her in a box. Limited chances to show off her full acting range. Finally, in 1960, her Fox contract came to an end with Sink the Bismarck, where she played a briskly efficient Wren. It was a British-made film, but it didn't give her room to showcase the depth of her acting skills. Sadly, she was bound to the studio, and she could not take any roles outside the ones they offered her. Sure, the studio enabled her to garner some fame, but she knew that she was capable of much more. Long story short, Dana Wynter had some real talent, but that Fox contract didn't exactly let her shine as brightly as she could have in the diverse roles she probably deserved. Asides her career endeavors, Dana found love in the 1950s. It was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of love. She was married only once. Back in 1956, Dana Wynter tied the knot with a lawyer named Greg Bautzer. Their marriage, which lasted a whopping 25 years, was quite a feat considering how quickly celebrity marriages tend to fizzle out. Even though Dana was considered one of the most beautiful actresses of her time, she wasn't one to play the field. Nope, she stuck to one marriage and one marriage only, and that was with Greg Bautzer. That's a rarity in the celebrity scene, where relationships often come and go like the wind. They had a kid together, Mark Reagan Bautzer, born on January 29, 1960, adding a family vibe to Dana's Hollywood story. In a place where people hop from one partner to another like it's a game, Dana kept it real with her commitment to a single marriage. So, for 25 years, Dana Wynter wasn't just a glamorous actress on the screen, she was also holding it down as a wife and mom. Her ability to juggle her duties as a wife and actress became evident when she shot not one, but 2 films right in her home turf in Ireland. Talk about multitasking. First up, we've got Shake Hands with the Devil in 1959. Dana was doing her thing, giving a stellar performance and probably making the Irish landscape look even more breathtaking than it already is. Imagine shooting a film and then going back home to your own cozy spot. That's exactly what Dana did. But wait, there's more. In 1963, she steps into the shoes of Lady Jocelyn Brutenholm in John Huston's quirky whodunit, The List of Adrian Messenger. And guess where they shot it? Yup, you got it, Ireland, her second home. Imagine Dana's not just navigating the twists and turns of a suspenseful plot, but she's also balancing the whole being a wife thing, all while surrounded by the lush greenery of Ireland. That's pretty impressive. While she was balancing both worlds, she didn't let her job as an actress stop her from being a present wife. She poured into both aspects of her life without neglecting the other. Oh, and speaking of being a wife, her husband Greg Bautzer was no small fry. He was a divorce lawyer to the Hollywood stars. So while Dana's diving into her acting roles, her husband is out there in Hollywood dealing with celebrity divorces. Talk about a power couple. In a world where celeb marriages often crash and burn, Dana's enduring union stands out. No one knows for sure how she was able to balance all her responsibilities so effortlessly, but one thing is true, Dana was a great multitasker. A powerful anti-apartheid advocate. At a time when many actresses wouldn't dare speak on certain sensitive issues, Dana Wynter was bold enough to address certain issues in order to spark change. Beyond the spotlight, Dana Wynter emerged as a bold advocate against apartheid, showcasing a depth of character that extended far beyond her acting roles. Her commitment to this cause was exemplified by her resolute stance against the oppressive apartheid policies in South Africa. At the time, there were very few actresses who were bold enough to take a stance on matters like these, but Dana was different. She used her platform and influence to speak up and advocate against apartheid policies. One notable incident that underscored Dana's dedication to the anti-apartheid movement was her refusal to open a performance center in South Africa. Upon discovering that black and white children would be forced to attend on alternate days, she took a principled stand against such segregation. This decision wasn't just about rejecting a business opportunity, it was a bold rejection of racial discrimination and an assertion of her values. Dana Winter's advocacy against apartheid extended beyond personal decisions. She envisioned using her platform to create awareness and stir change. One ambitious plan involved producing a film criticizing the apartheid policy. The film was intended to be written by an American and shot in Australia, a strategic move to bring international attention to the discriminatory practices in South Africa. This initiative reflected Dana's determination to leverage her influence for a cause she passionately believed in. While she was making all these plans, Dana didn't care about what her advocacy work would do to her image. Even though she had spent years building her career, she didn't mind upsetting a few powerful people in the industry with her views and advocacy. She had no intention of backing down until she saw the change she hoped for. In a world where many celebrities shy away from taking a stand on controversial issues, Dana Winter's commitment to fighting apartheid demonstrated a rare and admirable blend of social consciousness and personal integrity. Her actions went beyond performative activism. They reflected a genuine dedication to making a positive impact on the world, proving that even in Hollywood, individuals can use their influence for meaningful change. She walked a different path. You've always known that Dana was an actress, but did you know that she also worked as a journalist? In the late 1980s, Dana Winter embarked on a new chapter of her career that extended far beyond the world of acting. Stepping away from Hollywood, she delved into the world of journalism, becoming a prominent voice through her column Grassroots for the Guardian newspaper in London. At the time, her acting career had taken a back seat, but she still needed a platform to tell stories and connect with audiences. Dana's foray into journalism was marked by a distinctive focus on the intricacies of life in both Ireland and California. Through her writings, she skillfully navigated the cultural landscapes of these two diverse locations, offering readers a nuanced and insightful perspective. Her works not only showcased her talent as a writer, but also demonstrated a keen understanding of the social fabric of the communities she explored. Reading her columns felt like seeing the world through her eyes, and she sure did have a beautiful way of viewing things. What made Dana's journalistic endeavors stand out was her ability to capture the essence of everyday life in both Ireland and California. The titles she chose for her publications, Irish Eyes and California Eyes, aptly reflected the lenses through which she viewed and portrayed the unique experiences and stories of these regions. Through her writing, she became a bridge, connecting readers to the heartbeat of these distinct locales. Beyond the glamour of Hollywood, Dana Winter revealed herself as a versatile storyteller, using her pen to paint vivid portraits of the places she called home. Her transition from acting to journalism showcased a depth of intellectual curiosity and a commitment to engaging with the world in a meaningful way. Whether navigating the rich cultural heritage of Ireland or capturing the dynamic spirit of California, Dana's writings added a new dimension to her multifaceted career. If there was an actress that could adapt, evolve, and continue making significant contributions to the world of storytelling, it was Dana Winter. The legal dispute that you didn't know about? Dana Winter was living a low-key life when she found herself entangled in a legal issue that she didn't see coming. In July 2008, Dana Winter found herself embroiled in a legal dispute that remained concealed from the prying eyes of many of her fans. This unexpected chapter in her life unfolded discreetly, largely unknown to the public due to her intentional adoption of a more low-key lifestyle during that period. The legal entanglement reportedly revolved around the proceeds from the sale of a $125,000 Paul Henry painting titled "Evening on Achill Sound." This painting, a cherished piece that adorned the walls of the family home in County Wicklow, was reportedly a gift from her son, purchased in 1996. What was intended as a symbol of affection became the focal point of a legal tussle, casting a shadow over Dana Winter's private life. Living a more secluded and understated life during this time, Dana managed to keep the details of the dispute hidden from the public eye. Her fans, accustomed to the on-screen elegance and Hollywood glamour, were largely unaware of the legal complexities she was navigating. The resolution of the dispute unfolded in the High Court in 2009, marking the conclusion of a chapter that had remained concealed from the public gaze. Dana Winter's ability to maintain a low-key existence amid legal challenges reflected her determination to handle personal affairs privately. It also demonstrated her resilience in facing unforeseen hurdles without succumbing to the pressures of public scrutiny. This legal dispute, unknown to many of her fans at the time, adds a layer of complexity to Dana Winter's life story. It proves that even in the midst of fame, individuals grapple with personal challenges away from the spotlight. Dana Winter did her best to avoid scandals, but we can't say the same for Shelley Winters. Click on the screen to check out the chilling story of this actress who grappled with scandals and addictions.